Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English. In our today's video, we'll talk about the Great Nicobar project which has been approved recently by the National Green Tribunal. Now in our today's video, we'll look at multiple different angles relating to this topic. How this topic first of all goes against public interest, but on another hand, this fulfills national interest of India. So how can a particular project on one hand go against public interest and at the same time fulfill national interest? This is the subject of our today's discussion. Now, why are we dealing with this topic? The reason is this week on Monday, the National Green Tribunal cleared the way for government to start construction of an 81,000 crore Great Nicobar project, which is a mega infrastructure project located in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands region. And why this project has been approved by NGT? Because of its strategic importance. And at the same time, the NGT realized government has created adequate safeguards in order to reduce the environmental damage that can happen because of such mega infrastructure project. Now the tribunal's order in this regard becomes very important because in future, as India will become economically more developed, there will be certain projects which will be created in ecological sensitive areas. So the precedence of approval for this kind of a project will also play an important role in future such projects which will be constructed in border areas, ecologically sensitive islands, etc. So that is why understanding the Great Nicobar project, its significance becomes important from our exams perspective. Now the notes which I will be using in our today's session, in case if you want to download them, you can go to a particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live, and while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel also. So let us start our today's discussion by understanding the location where this project is being taken for. This project has been implemented in a group of islands called as Andaman and Nicobar Island. Andaman and Nicobar Island are not just two islands, it is a group of 836 islands, and that is why the term archipelago has been used for Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now geographically, these group of islands are divided into Andaman, which is located in the north, and Nicobar group of islands which are located in the south. And these two are separated geographically by a piece of water body called as 10-degree channel, which is a 150-kilometer wide water body. So what is separating Andaman and Nicobar Island? It is the 10-degree channel. Understood? Now the project, that is the Great Nicobar project, as you can understand, is been implemented in a particular island belonging to the Nicobar group of islands called as Great Nicobar Island. This is the southernmost and the largest of the Nicobar group of islands, and it is known for its fragile ecosystem and significant biodiversity. Why it is known for its significant biodiversity? First of all, it belongs to the Nicobar group of biosphere reserve, and it consists of two national parks, Campbell Bay in the north and Galathea Bay in the south of Great Nicobar Islands. Now, the Great Nicobar Islands geographically spans around 910 square kilometers, and it covers mainly tropical rainforest, which is the essential kind of vegetation available in southeastern Bay of Bengal Islands. Now, India's southernmost point, that is Indira Point, is also located in the Great Nicobar Island. And what is significant about Indira Point? That it is only 90 nautical miles from the northern tip of Sumatra, that is the Sabang Point. Right? In Sabang, Indian Armed Forces are also creating a port. So that is why Sabang also becomes important for our exams perspective. Now, let us talk about the Great Nicobar project. Great Nicobar project will include construction which will set back the government worth of 81,000 crores, and it has been implemented by Andaman and Nicobar company, ANEDCO, and it will be spread around 166 square kilometer of region, and it has been recently cleared by the National Green Tribunal. National Green Tribunal is a statutory body which has been created specifically to deal with cases relating to environmental damage and compensation. Now let us talk about what are the projects included in the Great Nicobar project. Great Nicobar project will consist of 4 pillars of transformation. The first and probably the geographically largest among them is establishment of an integrated township. Integrated means it will house residences, commercial establishments, logistics as well as defense areas. Similarly, there will also be construction of an international airport which will be meant for dual use, that is for both civilian as well as military usage. There will be a transshipment port constructed in the southeastern part of the island, which will be India's second transshipment port. What is the first India's transshipment port? Do let me know in the comment section below. And last but not the least is the construction of a power plant, which will include both gas-based and solar-based power plant, so as to provide power to these kind of infrastructure projects. So these are the 4 important pillars constructed under the Great Nicobar project. Now let us talk about what or who will be implementing this project. And as I told you, NIDCO will be the implementing agency. Earlier, Niti Aayog was implementing that, but now Andaman and Nicobar Island Integrated Developmental Corporation, which is a PSU of the government, it was established in 1988 under the Companies Act 1956. This body will be responsible for implementing the Nicobar Island project. Now, the purpose of this body is to develop and commercially exploit the natural resources of the Andaman and Nicobar Island, but at the same time, it also balances and considers environmental friendly development so as to not damage the Andaman and Nicobar Island from any kind of economic activities. Now, let us talk about the reason why the government is going ahead with this project. As I told you, construction of any economic developmental project in an ecologically sensitive area is against public interest. This we understand, but there has to be something superior than public interest which would warrant the government to go ahead with this kind of a project. So what are the reasons? We'll discuss this. First is the geostrategic location of the Great Nicobar Islands. As I told you, Great Nicobar Island is located in the southernmost tip geographically of India, which is just 90 nautical miles away from the coast of Indonesia, that is on Sumatra Island, and near to the Great Nicobar Islands lies the Strait of Malacca. Now the Strait of Malacca is very important as far as the global shipping lines are concerned. Similarly, there are other important straits in the nearby vicinity. These include Sunda Strait and Lombok Strait. Where are they located? You'll get to know this by the look of this map. As I told you, this is the Great Nicobar Islands, and very close to this is the island of Sumatra. Now, Sumatra is an island belonging to Indonesia. Now, very near to Sumatra Island lies this Strait of Malacca. Why is Strait of Malacca important? Strait of Malacca is through where 30% of global trade happens, and more than 1/3 of global oil trade also flows through this strait. Similarly comes Sunda Strait here, which separates Sumatra with the island of Java, again belonging to Indonesia, and here would be the Lombok Strait, which is connecting with the Indonesian group of islands with that of Bali. Bali is very famous, known for its tourism potential. So all these important shipping lanes, that is the Strait of Malacca, Strait of Sunda and Strait of Lombok, are located geographically very close to the Great Nicobar Islands, and to utilize the potential of this geostrategic location, we needed to construct a transshipment port. What is the benefit of construction of this transshipment port? Because currently 75% of India's transshipment requirement is taken care of by foreign ports like Singapore, like Colombo, like ports in Malaysia. So right now a significant chunk of our money is flowing to foreign ports. So as to prevent this from happening, so as to get all of this traffic in Indian ports, we are creating a transshipment port in the region of Great Nicobar Islands. Now, the benefit of this transshipment port, which will be established in the Great Nicobar Island, is that it will be having the capacity of 14.2 million TEUs. Now, what is a TEU? It is very easy to understand. You must have seen those shipping containers, right, which are of uniform size across the world. So these shipping containers are called as 20-foot equivalent units. So the capacity of this port would be to handle 14.2 million of these shipping containers annually. And what is the benefit of such transshipment port for India? It will reduce our dependence on foreign ports like Singapore, Klang, which is in Malaysia, Colombo and Hambantota, which are located in Sri Lanka. Now, the benefit of this kind of a project, if it is being implemented in an Indian territory, it will lead to a lot of forex saving. It will attract foreign direct investment in a region which is economically lesser developed, that is the Great Nicobar Islands, and it will also enhance the island's connectivity with that of Indian mainland. Now, what is the reason for that? First of all, you will do economic development in the region. You will also create tourism potential. You already know Andaman and Nicobar Islands is very coveted when it comes to tourism. So if you have to harness those potential, you need to create infrastructure in the region, which will be done through transshipment port and township. Right? Now, let us talk about another very less talked about aspect. The benefit of such kind of a construction to be done in the Great Nicobar Island is for defense related purposes. Now, Andaman and Nicobar Island houses India's only presently the Tri-Service Command. Tri-Service Command is a command in which the commander of this Tri-Service Command has powers over the assets of Army, Air Force as well as Navy. India presently has only one Tri-Service Command which is located in the island of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Now, having the potential or having the presence of a tri-service command in Andaman and Nicobar Island is the reason why Andaman and Nicobar Island is called as India's unsinkable aircraft carrier. Now, if you increase the military presence in the Andaman and Nicobar Island, it will allow Indian armed forces to project its power into a wider geography of the Indian Ocean region. This is primarily important because, as we can understand, gradually Chinese are increasing its presence on Indian Ocean region. And from where do you think Chinese naval assets enter into the Indian Ocean region? It is through Strait of Malacca. So not just have an eye on Strait of Malacca, you will be increasing your military deployment in the Great Nicobar Island, which is your sovereign territory, and it will help your armed forces to project the power over a long or a large portion of the Indian Ocean region. So this is the strategic rationale behind it. But now let us talk about the challenges that will come after the implementation of such projects. As you can understand, this will have an ecological cost. The ecological cost is the destruction of 130 square kilometers of forest, which will be used for economic purposes, and this will lead to close to 1 million trees which will be cut down. So this is disaster when it comes to the ecological impact of this kind of a project. Now, the region of Andaman and Nicobar, as I told you, is ecologically very important. Why it is important? Because it houses several vulnerable species like this giant leatherback turtle and also the Nicobar macopod. The IUCN status of both these species are vulnerable status, right? Now, when you're constructing such a large infrastructure project in the region, naturally the natural habitat of all these species like the leatherback turtle, like the megapod, would negatively be impacted. Similarly, the tribals which inhabit this Great Nicobar Island, particularly the Shompans, who are the particularly vulnerable tribal group, and Great Nicobarese tribal group, they are relatively isolated tribal groups. Now, when influx of outsiders would happen in the region, which would, after the construction of this project, it would lead to cultural erosion for these tribal groups, in addition to posing certain health risks. Now, you need to understand, geographically isolated tribal groups, they are not immune to the kind of diseases which are prevalent across the globe, like the ones Indians are usually accustomed to. So when the interaction between outsiders and the tribal groups would happen, it would bring health risks to the tribal groups, which is one of the costs that we have to bear. Similarly, as you can understand, the Andaman and Nicobar group is located in seismic zone 5, which is a high risk zone as far as seismic activity, earthquake prone areas are concerned, and this was the region which witnessed significant destruction due to the 2004 tsunami event that happened. So all of this is a reason for worry, but despite this worry, as I told you, the strategic importance of this project is so high that the government is going ahead with it. So as you can understand, sometimes in national interest, we have to take decisions which might go against the public interest, as this kind of a project is going against the public interest of tribal groups which inhabit the region. Now, there are many questions that have appeared on this topic relating to Andaman and Nicobar Island, but solving that, before that, you need to understand the kind of discussion we had stretched along multiple subjects. It dealt with economy, it dealt with environment, it dealt with internal security. To deal with such important subjects which have domains across multiple subjects, you need to go through the foundation courses. Foundation courses right now are offered for 27 and 2028 to students looking to give exams in these years. Please subscribe to these courses. They are available right now at a discounted date. One of the batches is going to start from 26th of February. To take admissions in these batches, if you use the code ATS Live, you are going to get maximum discounts. And please remember, batches are available separately for students looking to give exam in 2027 and in 2028. Now let us solve certain PYQs that have appeared on this topic. This is the question that appeared in 2015. Which one of the following regions in India has a combination of mangrove, evergreen and deciduous forest? Please let me know the correct answer of this question in the comments. There is another question. Which one of the following pair of islands is separated by each other through a 10-degree channel? What did I tell you? Andaman and Nicobar, located in north and south respectively, are separated by a narrow piece of water body, which is called as 10-degree channel. So answer is A, right? The next question, which appeared in 2017, can be solved easily. Which one of the following geographically is closest to Great Nicobar? Do let me know the correct answer of this question also in the comment section. and the ones who are waiting to download the notes, they will be made available on this particular Telegram channel called as ATS Live. So this is all from my side for today. We'll see each other again. Please have a very good day.